In this video, we're going to talk about the top foods to eat on a carnivore diet and a ketogenic diet, and then later, low carb, high fat. Let's get into it. Welcome everyone to my crazy life, where I've been on this channel for so many years. And YouTube likes to push the shorts now and not the long form videos, unless I do call out videos. Is that not the dumbest thing ever? I digress. Here we go. Top foods on a carnivore diet. Well, we have to define it. Is carnivore an all meat diet? I would say yeah. I would say if you're going to add plants, just call it keto. Don't call it like carnivore-ish. Just call it keto. Unless you're doing carnivore and like straight up standard American diet, then just call it standard American diet or sad diet. Very sad. The foods that you want to consider, now that we know that carnivore really is just all meat, food groups, meat and fat, then we want to eat certain foods and reasons why. Let's break it down. We'll start with the meat. We want foods like red meat. Red meat, beyond your fishes, and because we have to factor in how toxic the sea is and bacteria and all this, red meat really is your best bet. Ruminant animals, cows, deer in the south, not up north, because they jack them up. If you know what I mean. If you know, you know. Anything that is wild, growing, in terms of what the ruminant animals are grazing on. So, for example, I got some grass out of I think it was Montana, and there was no herbicides, there's no pesticides, there's no fungicides, there's nothing on it, just wild grass that was growing. And I sat there and I sniffed the bag like it was something like, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Then my horses didn't want it. Go figure. We're looking at red meat, right? Red meat first. And organ meat. We want liver, kidney, thymus, tongue, brain. These are all things if you can tolerate it. But truly, liver, kidney, and thymus, those are the ones that I say are the most important organ meats to consume. Oh, and heart, rather. Liver, kidney, heart, brain, thymus, tongue. But liver, kidney, and your thymus, those are the ones that are going to help you for those who've got deficiencies, mineral deficiencies, vitamin deficiencies, low in diamine oxidase. So thymus here, it's on a young calf, mainly because it's so big, and it has diamine oxidase in it, which is an antihistamine. So instead of taking the antihistamine medication during allergy season, or people who got histamine intolerance, you want to go for thymus. That's going to give you the best results instead of having the desiccated, dried out product. And then we've got kidney, and it's amazing if you guys can find wet hung kidney and thymus from a cow that has been grass fed on non-treated grass with no chemicals sprayed on it. That would be your best bet. The other meats, like lamb, yes, there's lamb, pork, fish, goat, eggs. Chicken, turkey, and rabbit are really good for those who've got severe mast cell activation and histamine intolerance. Those are the less reactive, did I say plants? Animals! I'm trying to hurry out this door, I'm telling y'all, before the rain comes. The turkey, boiled, rabbit, boiled, and chicken, those are all the ones that are less reactive when they're pastured, raised, and not fed all the tomfoolery. Now we have the organ meats, we have the meats. What else? And eggs, egg yolks. For those who have a histamine intolerance, like sensitivity to eggs, yolks over whites. And if you have no problem, they can do the whole egg, but just don't do 12 of them a day. You can develop an egg sensitivity by doing that, because there's this cross reactivity from when you used to eat gluten onto the whites of the eggs, but I digress. Now, we're still kind of on the animal types that you want to consume, like sardines, salmon, oysters, ruminant animals, pork, wild boar, deer, elk, bison, bison and cow are really the top, especially the organs from these types of ruminant animals. Now, we got that covered. Next, we want to consider anything that mimics fiber, that is a matrix, like tendons, bone. It's not a proven science, but there are rumblings that you might be able to get your prebiotic fiber from those parts of the animal. They might be able to produce a short chain fatty acids. I've never worked with somebody to test that, but that would be an interesting experiment for sure. Yeah. So bones, meal down, tendons, collagen, yeah, all of these things. But there's more. Let's talk about the fat. Fat. We want best fat, bar none, is butter. But some people react to the protein in the friggin' butter. There's not a lot, but there's still a little bit. So some people who've developed a dairy allergy don't do well with whey and casein, the protein left over in dairy. And it's high, casein is high. There is a cross-reactivity response often in people where the body is stressed and heavy metals and filled with plastics, and you have a leaking gut, and you've been eating wheat most of your life, and it'll take all these other foods like the proteins in dairy, or dairy, cheeses, egg whites, and the brain still thinks you're eating bread. That's cross-reactivity. Doesn't happen in all, but many people. So if you're trying to heal that gut, just try to go low on some of these high histamine foods. Cheese is a hard no pass. And butter is okay because there's such small amounts, but if you're reactive, then you want to maybe go try ghee, which is clarified. And if not, the next fat would be, well, it's a pork or thymus fat. I know. And then we have tallow, beef tallow. Now, things like your leaf lards and leaf, which is fat around the organs, or suet, that's not going to have the most nutrients. You can't compare that to butter. Just not. Because butter has all these higher in vitamin E. Yolks as well, vitamin E, vitamin A. You're not going to get that in suet. So, I don't know why people are so consumed with suet, but they are. I digress. What more? If you're having a problem, again, with balancing your electrolytes, don't freak out, but there's the blood of the animal. So wet hung is really good. It's going to have a nice amount of sodium and protein in that blood. But then we also have meat broth, not bone broth. Now, bone broth is fine for those who don't have a histamine response to it because it's cooked for so long, bacteria is just growing on that pot of meat for hours and hours. So don't eat bone broth or consume it if you're having super bad small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, mast cell activation, histamine intolerance. Meat stock or meat soup or meat broth. That's cooked, can be cooked in a pressure cooker for 10 minutes or cooked, simmered for 40 minutes with meat and no bones just to leach out the potassium, which makes a great potassium drink with a little protein. Foods like cottage cheese, kefirs, if you have mast cell activation, take out kefir yogurts. No. That bacteria creates a high histamine response. Milk has too much sugar, so if you're trying to keto adapt on a carnivore diet, which you should, you can't do the milk. If you're gonna do milk, raw milk, you might as well eat carbs in small amounts. Okay? Because it's gonna make your blood sugar spike and your ketones drop. The carbohydrates, the phone's adjusting. Weird. I would be very careful with fermented foods in the short term. Yes. If you're having a problem with potassium deficiencies, you're going to either have to take a supplement, which would be citrate, potassium citrate, or bicarbonate or gluconate. Chloride's a hard pass, which is in most of those garbage products. Magnesium really is the only supplement I'm saying it's really hard to get the amount that you need from food. So magnesium, glycinate, which is the most chelatable, glycinate, and if you're having like migraines, and you would do L-threonate, but you would not, or threonate, you would not be doing a citrate for headaches, for example. And citrate helps draw magnesium, not potassium. Magnesium citrate draws water to the colon to help you poop more, where we're trying to get one that affects the central nervous system better for relaxing the body, which is glycinate. And drink at least 2 liters of water to 3. That's a whole nother video. And I'm out because I got stuff to do. I got life to live. I just don't have the time to do those flashy videos. But I will soon, because I'll be moving into my house, and I'm creating a studio and setting better times. And I'm out. Comment below if this helps. My Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. Facebook fan page is Stephanie the Business Person. I do consultations if you guys feel like you're stuck. I've been doing this for so long. I'm not going to jerk your chain and tell you a bunch of stuff that's not going to help, or only help for a short term. And I'm not going to get you to fast to try to lose weight. I'm going to try to actually balance that insulin and your blood sugar and that cortisol. Comment below. Share this content. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Subscribe. And I'm out. I got shit to do. I still keep trying to put together my lifestyle video of what's been going on with the house build and the animals, that I've rescued a bunch of animals. I just don't have time to do it. Nope, but soon. And I'm out. Energy.